Okay, guys, and right now we're gonna do the part three. That's the last part of the Piers Morgan Tucker Carlson interview. The Piers Morgan Tucker Carlson interview. It's a pretty interesting interview. So here's the last part of it.
Coverage of these two right up to the wedding was completely over the top euphoric. Everyone in Britain was thrilled that finally we were having a non-white bride in the royal family. It hadn't happened. We were all very happy about this. I wrote about how wonderful it was on the wedding day. So this narrative that from the start she was bombarded with horrible, hateful, racist press coverage is another disingenuous load of nonsense, fueled by the Oprah Winfrey Show, where they flashed up a series of headlines. But really where this leaves us is that you've got this concept that somehow Meghan Markle, who married into one of the richest, most privileged families in the world, and within a couple of years has gone back to her home in California, is living in an $11 million mansion, is doing all sorts of enormous deals with Netflix, Spotify, you name it. They're taking the checks, hundreds of millions we read. And how are they getting those, Tucker? They're getting them because they're the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. They're getting them off their royal titles. The royal titles bestowed on them by the very institution that in the interview with Oprah Winfrey, they say they can't stand and is suffocating and traps them and so on and so on. Well, you can't have it both ways. If you
Okay. Yes, I want to give my thought about this. He said that okay, they're getting a lot of deals because of the title of Duke and Sussex. I don't know about that. I think let's say that they remove the title. Let's say they remove the title. Who thinks that Meghan Markle is still not going to be valuable for capitalism for Prince Harry? I actually think that could double right now. Yeah, I think it could double the time because now they're gonna say, "Oh, yeah, they removed the title of the prince because of this," and probably Meghan Markle is gonna say racism. You know, she's gonna play some like a race card, and then Prince Harry is gonna say the same thing, victimization, and that's gonna play well for the media, and people are gonna buy into this, and they're actually gonna probably make more money now. So the title of Duke and Duchess, those are very archaic things. Capitalism of today doesn't no capitalism of today does care about those things, but what I'm saying is like once your name is out there and they know that you are Prince Harry, what's most important to the world of media and everything like that is that you are Prince Harry or you are Meghan Markle. It's not really the title. It's kind of like you become famous for being you're just famous. Once you are famous, um you most likely cannot lose it. It's almost like it's an asset, like for me, it's like you cannot lose it. It's who you are. It's kind of like when um you are born with certain characteristic in your body, right? And once you're famous, it's just a fact of your life. So he's saying that you cannot have it both way. You cannot have you want to keep the title and make money. Just give up the title, and you can leave England. That's what he's saying. But if they give up the title and they leave England and they come to America, they actually can make a lot more because now they have no responsibility at all to England and they can just do anything they want. And capitalism, social media, Facebook, Netflix, all those guys, you mean they're not going to book those guys? I mean, come on, Piers Morgan. I think it's not true.
really believe that way about the royal family and the monarchy, give up your titles, but they won't do that because it makes them too much money. So now you have these two oppressed people living in a mansion in California, earning hundreds of millions of dollars in the middle of a pandemic that's killed nearly 3 million people, portraying themselves as the biggest victims in the world. But there are many people who don't have our platform, who are getting wiped out, eradicated, lives destroyed, careers ended over the most ridiculous things. And it's got to stop, and it will only stop when the mass body of people who don't feel this way, who don't find themselves offended by absolutely everything, when they stand up and go, enough, I'm not going to let this happen. The power of free speech, as Winston Churchill said, some people think free speech is absolutely fine, right to the point they hear an opinion that they don't like, and then it's an outrage. That's not what free speech is. Free speech is about listening to an outrageous opinion you don't agree with and being able to accept that somebody else doesn't feel like you. That's what free speech is. Suffering does amazing things to people. They become very different in a short period of time. In the case of Piers Morgan, he's gotten a lot wiser and a lot braver and very much worth listening to. We spoke to him for over an hour today. It's available on demand at foxnation.com if you want to watch.
So yes, so basically, guys, you see what Piers Morgan said. He said that they are booking deals, they are doing a lot of things, and they're making a lot of money. You cannot have it both way, and okay, is I don't like that argument, but the argument of Piers that I think I agree. This is the only argument I agree with Piers. The argument I agree is that in the midst of a pandemic, this is the worst economic crisis one of the worst. I think it could be the worst economic crisis. I don't think it's wise for even Meghan Markle to go around and keep saying that like she's oppressed, because there are people that are more oppressed than you, Meghan Markle. You look like a privileged woman, a princess that claims that she's oppressed. I mean, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. You gotta make it in context and draw it nicely. You're a multi-millionaire. You're a princess. Some people, it's not princess. Some people are refugees in Mexico. They're trying to cross the border. You're a princess in England, one of the most privileged family, and then you complain about some people saying some weird things. Me, I totally expect that from the royal family. That's not gonna kill me, but it looked like those kind of comment killed Meghan Markle. Like, well, she had to complain. Me personally, I feel I don't. My personal idea is that I don't think it was Meghan Markle at all that made the move from USA to California. I think it was Prince Harry, and he never liked the family that much. He never liked that lifestyle. I think Prince Harry said something that was very suspicious. He said something like you wouldn't want to be a warrior. So he's saying that the warrior lifestyle is not as it's not as what people cook it up to be. People cook it up to be that the most beautiful thing. It's not. It's very restrictive, very archaic. Everybody looking at you, talking about you. It's not fun. Have a good day, guys. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you.